5:34. Like I said, Naomi's not here, Rick is not here, and Tim Wood is not here. So the chair and vice chair aren't here. So we need to have a motion to elect a chair for the meeting.
I'll make the motion to elect Randy.
If he wants to do it.
Does not matter to me. If someone we prefer to chair, it's fine.
I'll make a motion to have Ben chair since he was our
There you go.
last chair.
Ben did this before, he's good.
Second.
Okay. So are you taking your name out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Randy.
So Ben's the chair.
So all in favor? And opposed? Abstentions? That is unanimous. Okay, Ben.
All right, I have no additions or adjustments. Absences have already been noted, so moving on to the consent agenda to approve the minutes of the December 4th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any comments or questions about those minutes?
Who was it? Was it Leah?
Leah moved, yeah.
Yeah, Randy second.
Oh, okay, you got it. I'll get out of it. Just type it below.
No, go ahead.
No, it's good. You're better than me at this.
All right, hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes of that meeting? I believe that's unanimous. All opposed? No hands. Abstentions, no hands. All right.
One abstention.
Well, one abstention. My apologies. Who was that?
Me.
All right. Audience with the public. Would any of our public in attendance care to say anything? No? All right. On to action items. First policy up for consideration is GCFB, professional staff hiring.
Thank you. We tabled this last time because we were wondering about some of the language and we wanted to come back to it and we just kind of got really busy. Remember that we had a huge
Yes.
agenda?
Yeah.
I'll just say quickly that JEA is on the agenda for the purpose of keeping it on the agenda. I'm not ready quite yet to do that. We'll have to do that the 1st of March. But KF is going to take a long time tonight. So if you'd like to talk about GCFB, I'd be happy to do so. I think the question was mostly just that we ran out of time. Yeah.
I think more time is appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Looking through this, it's like the whole policy's been changed.
Yes.
It's all become non-discrimination. It's not about hiring, it's not about interviewing, it's not about setting questions, anything. This is a completely different policy.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I'll put it at that. I think it needs to be looked at a lot more carefully.
Okay, so do you?
Myself.
Yeah, remember we had the crash where we had a lettering problem. Would you like me to go back and do more research on this one and figure out more with that, Randy? Or is it that there's a question about the GCFB by the NHSBA policy lettering system is what's in blue. That's what it's supposed to be per their lettering system. But if we want to marry this with another policy or consider them as separate, I think we should re-letter our recruiting and our professional staff hiring. Do you want to fix it, or do you want to look at having two different policies? That's my question. I'm happy to do whatever you want.
If I may, I took a look at the same thing. I had to refresh my memory about what the issue was, and that's what we were coming to grips with, was that we were looking to basically change one policy to a completely different one. From what I found, just doing a quick check, I think, as you say, the blue language is GCFB as it stands. I think what we had is coded GCF. I've seen other area schools with GCF, and that language reflects what our strike-through language is here much more closely. So I think the question would be, or not the question, but the process would be to adopt GCF wholesale because we don't currently have it, and then update GCFB to reflect the actual policy language.
And I'm fine with that. So if you wanted to make, can I just ask a question because I got a little lost there. If we take our old policy and make that GCF. With the new one, the blue language would be GCFB, which is the NHSBA
Yeah,
policy, which aligns with our AC policies.
yes,
And the part I didn't want to have go wrong was that we didn't put the things in our policies that are required under the Title IX and ACA type policies and have a mistake there either. So I would be perfectly fine to draft up a GCF, which is the old policy that we had, address the things that Randy brought up about the hiring, the committee and all that, and then have GCFB be its own policy beneath that.
yeah.
Is that what is the will of the group? I just wanted guidance. I couldn't remember. It's been too long.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, it really is, it's two separate policies with two separate languages, and so we might as well have them, deal with them individually, I think.
Okay. And would you like to have that come back to policy at the next meeting, or would you like to move the both of them to the board, because they're all in there?
I'd rather have it come back to here.
Okay.
I'm noticing that we have references here now to this new one with human rights, but it doesn't say anything about Title IX or Title VI, or I don't know if it's 6 or 7, sorry, employment law. We're talking about employing someone here, but there's, yeah, human rights, okay, that's one thing, but I think the federal titles at least might be, I'm not sure how appropriate, but I think they are if they're gonna reference to human rights, Maine Human Rights Commission. I'm sure there's a somewhat parallel
I can
federal
ask.
title.
Sure.
So whether those should be in there or not, because whether we'll have one or the other another year, I don't know, or both.
Don't we defer to the main human rights?
No?
So the
We would
question is,
defer to federal law, I would think.
so Randy, what I wrote.
I'm just wondering whether there should be a cite to
Yeah.
one of the titles in here.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure I have my marching orders, so I made a note that said, make a policy called GCF with our original language. Put GCFB, which is what this policy is supposed to be, so that we're congruent with the Maine School Boards Association Policy Manual. Bring both of those back, and then find out, is there a federal law reference that should be cited?
Think so?
I'll ask our attorney that.
Yep, one of the titles probably. Or
Rachel?
both.
And while you're chatting with the attorney, could you please clarify this ongoing question of, are we allowed to just go with sort of the Maine Human Rights Act, or sort of which supersedes the other?
I don't know that we'll get a clear answer on
Yeah, I
that,
don't think
that's
we
a
have
question
an answer on
that's
that
working
until we
its way
hear.
up.
But that's, I guess, that's.
but they have to defend us.
So that would
I want
actually
them
make
to-
my
yeah.
point about, is that there isn't a clear answer. So when one of you says yes and one of you says no, it's not that
No, I'm
simple.
saying it probably should say both. It should probably say both.
I guess
That'd be
that-
my thought, if it's got one, it should have the
So
other.
if-
Right.
One's
I
gonna
would
be right.
suggest-
Well,
If
one,
you're-
they contradict each other, so that's why it's important to be clear.
One will be right.
Tom, I would suggest that as you're preparing GCF, to take that opportunity to make sure that our old, struck through here GCFB language is congruent to whatever GCF is now in a broader
Yeah,
sense.
what I'll do is I'll talk to Kathleen after I draft everything up to save us money. And before I do that, I'll talk to Charlotte Bates, so that's free,
Yeah,
right? So I always move progressively from Charlotte Bates at the Maine School Management, who's also an attorney, to Kathleen when it gets sticky, because she's the one who would have to defend us.
okay.
I usually ask the attorney if they have to defend us, I wanna make sure that they feel confident.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, so with all that in mind, I suppose a motion to table GCFB until our next policy committee meeting would be appropriate from
Second.
I wasn't.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Okay, so, okay.
Alright, so that was Rachel moving, Randy seconding. All in favor of tabling GCFB? All opposed? And abstentions? That is unanimous.
Is that, how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
So moving on to JEA, understanding that we aren't ready to really deal with this at the moment, I think another motion to table would be what's called for.
Can I just, because it's been almost 2 months, can I just ask one quick question?
Yeah.
I don't wanna I'm happy to go watch the video, but it'd be easier, or I'll just right here, just take a minute. The sticking point for this, when I reviewed this today, and I tried to get to it, but I just couldn't. The sticking point that I remember was page 3 at the top. D, a person who is enrolled in an online learning program or course. We wanted clarity about whether or not it was a state-approved. Like, you can't just be enrolled in
Active
basket
fly-by-night.
weaving online
High school, yeah.
and say that you're in high school, right? I just think we wanted a little more clarity about what that meant. Was that the? Okay,
I remember that.
alright, I'm on it. Thanks, guys.
Alright.
Got it.
So that said, will someone care to make a motion with respect to JEA?
I move
that
we
we
table.
hold- Yeah, table it.
Alright, we have a motion, do we have a second?
What was the motion, sorry?
To table it.
Oh, second.
Alright, all in favor of tabling JEA to our next policy committee meeting? All opposed? None. Any abstentions? Also none.
Thank you.
Alright, moving on to policy KF, community use of school facilities.
Give me just 1 second, I'm making notes so that I can remember. Okay. This is going to take a while, and I purposely wanted to have time. Is Brian still here?
Yeah, I'm sure he's with you.
I wanted Brian to be here. This is a policy that, in my opinion, is really the essence of the work that we do.
That's enough.
It's a community decision policy. And so what I did, Karen and Brian and I sat for a very long time, going through every little corner of this policy, because it really needed to be redone. It was a little bit antiquated, although not wrong. But it just didn't reflect some of the things that we thought you would want to talk about. Particularly if you go down, and I'd like to go through this page by page. It's a long and very important policy for your community. Page 5 is a real sticking point because of the money. So let's save enough time to hit the money solid. What I'm going to do is try to take notes while we go if I need to adjust things so that I don't have to go back and watch the video. So I want to do this. If this takes a half hour, that's awesome. Let's just do it one thing at a time. So let's start with the top. If everyone could just read page 1 again and mention if you have any questions or concerns. There was some new language that we thought was good. Now, I just want to make sure you all remember, this is an example of where it was too complicated to just use the MSMA language. These changes are a combination of MSMA language and what Karen and Brian and I thought would work to run the district. So if we want to change something, it's pretty wide open, but I might have to go do a little more research to do it well, if you change it a lot. So we looked at a lot of different things. So there's a little bit of an unusual policy. Normally we only load the MSMA language and then we talk about it. But in this one, it was so local. We wanted to do a good job to reflect Medonic, okay? I think Leah has her hand up, Ben. I know you're the chair.
Oh, yeah. Leah, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, just wording, the second paragraph, community adults and children are free to use outdoor grounds and facilities when school is not in session for recreation whenever not otherwise scheduled. That just sounds awkward to me.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have the recommendation, but it's just awkward. I know what it's getting at.
Which paragraph, Leah?
The second paragraph, it's the whenever not otherwise scheduled.
Yeah, I think that was one that we talked about quite a bit, how to reword that. Because I know there has been school systems where homeschooled children have come on grounds during the school day, and that has been an issue. Like-
Well, it says when school is not in session for recreation, that part's fine, it's that whenever not otherwise scheduled. I think that means that if something else is scheduled to be there, then you can't use it.
Right.
Like winter kids at Miller, right? But I think that's, the fact that I'm saying, I think that's what that means that it's not quite getting at what it means.
The example I thought of, and I type what you just said, but it doesn't mean it has to stay that way. I just wrote, if something else is scheduled, the playground cannot be used by the community.
Sure.
I can work on it more later, but I think that the example I thought of locally was, the Washington school. After school, we had that really cool night with the apples and the goats. I
Yeah.
love the goats. It was really cute, right? But the school had a scheduled event. It would not be appropriate for people to just show up
Sure.
and start playing on the playground with like teenagers swearing and flipping out, or
Yes.
post-college kids doing things that post-college kids do, right? Like, it was a small, young children event.
Yeah.
But school was not in session. So I was thinking of that in my brain. I didn't love the wording, it's kind of what they sent us. Do you think that, Leah, I'll work on something for that.
What about like, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
What about like exceptions include blah, 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 so we can kind of, or exceptions would include an event already scheduled. I just feel like maybe 2 sentences, we're trying to get too much into 1 sentence there.
I agree, yeah.
We could probably do it without a list of exceptions, just because then people are gonna, what else,
Right,
what isn't
yeah,
an exception?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
becomes a big mess.
don't be more specific than you need to be, I guess.
And no other event is scheduled, maybe?
When the facility's not already reserved.
I think I can clean that up before
Yeah,
the next meeting.
sure.
I wasn't expecting an approval tonight, I was expecting kind of an editing session. And I can set something up and send it out to you, but I think 2 sentences is the way to go, and I made a note of that, Rachel. Right, just don't try to cram it all into 1 sentence.
Also, this third paragraph, the school board, do we usually just say the board?
Don't know.
If so, I think it should just say the board.
I feel like we do, let me see if I find another one.
And then the board supports the local taxpayers so that they are able to obtain maximum use, maybe just supports the local taxpayers to allow maximum use of the facilities.
Hang on just a sec, I was typing the other one.
Yeah.
So the first question is, do we delete the school and just call it board? The board?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I made a note about that, I'll look that up. What was the next one, Leah?
Supports the local taxpayers, cross out so that they are able to obtain and replace with to allow maximum use.
Okay. So that they are able to obtain. To allow. Got it. Is that the will of the group, though? That we haven't, yeah,
Sounds good.
Randy's got his hand up, so I just wanna make
Oh,
sure.
No, I like the word allow. I still think we should leave school board. There is no reference to board in the 2 previous paragraphs. So we're talking board, what board? Skateboard, diving board, school board.
Aren't these all?
Just for
aren't these
just
all
to clear, I mean, it's just,
policies?
Danny, do you know normally in policies if we reference school board or board?
I can find out, I've created a notebook.
We should just plug in whatever we do in most other cases.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs a lot of thinking. Leah?
We ought to bring that back.
The next sentence, it is intended that community uses for educational da-da-da-da-da. Are we saying that they need to be approved? Because we could just say, community uses for educational, recreational, social, civic, philanthropic, and like purposes are to be approved by the administration.
I am fine with that language if that's the will of the group.
I'm not sure what it is intended that means.
I would say must be approved. But,
Are to be approved, I think is direct, right?
yeah, if everyone's good, I pop that in there, but I'm looking for consensus.
Yeah.
We'll do the vote at the next meeting, okay? I added it, Leah, thank you.
I do think, Karen, did you find that? Do we usually just say
I'm
the board?
looking, I looked at policy AC, in the first reference, it just says board, so I'm looking at a second one to see if I just happen to catch a fluke.
It's like saying the school superintendent or
Yeah, I'm trying to find
I
the
mean-
second one. Yeah, I've looked at 2 different policies and they always just say the board.
we say the school board, but we are the district. The board makes sense.
Yeah, I have a notebook LM system with all of our policies in it now, I just made it a few days ago.
It just
I
says
just searched
board.
all the policies and they all say the board. So,
the end of paragraph 3 says school board.
right, then we should change it all to the board within the whole policy.
Yes.
Yep, I'll do that, no problem.
That's because the blue came from somewhere else.
Yep. All set? Still on page one, anything else for page one? Looking at Randy, people's brains are turning. Ben, how you doing?
All right.
Okay. If everyone's good, we'll go to page two, but I don't wanna rush you, Rachel. You good?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I have a specific concern about a school that is currently used for something, so I'm sort of waiting for the right time to.
Yeah, to figure out like where that balance,
Where
okay,
that
yeah.
comes
Yep.
in, yeah.
Sounds good.
And to make sure if it will become a non-issue after this policy, then I don't wanna make a
Yeah,
kerfuffle about it.
sure.
Does that,
Sure, sounds good.
okay.
So we'll go to page two. I believe, Brian, that letter H, repeat use may be denied to any group which has not demonstrated appropriate conduct and care was important, because we've had issues.
Yeah.
Yep,
Can we just say use may be denied?
Well,
Isn't it inferred that if they haven't demonstrated appropriate?
sure, you could go either way with that. Yeah. What do you guys think? I was fine with it with repeat, but I'm fine either way.
I think
I don't-
repeat is clear because we're not prejudging anyone, you know. But then if they use the facilities once and screw it up, then they don't get a second chance.
Yep. Okay.
Is there anything else that says that essentially people can be kicked out midway through whatever it is?
Within this policy?
Yeah.
I think near the end it says something somewhere.
Yes, policy violations
Okay.
may be required to vacate the facility immediately and may be barred from future use.
So we think it's important to say it twice?
There are some things in here that are said more than once for that purpose, just to drive it right home.
Yeah.
We did talk about that a couple of times, but it's not again, this is the draft this is why I wanted to have plenty of time to go nice and slow. I'm just staying on page two until you all tell me to move to three.
I don't have any comments on page two.
Question?
Yeah.
On the, facility use fees may be waived with approval by the facilities director. Should it be slash designee, cause I'm just thinking, what if Brian wasn't here? And, there was a question about waiving a fee.
Like the
Is
one
this-
day a
way this-
year.
The way this
I was
reads,
gonna say, what?
the way this
Brian
reads,
ever
only
not-
Brian can waive it.
And you can't get them on.
I'm
so.
listing up his oxygen mask and asking him to sign the form.
Yeah, I mean, Brian calls me at 11 at night now, we're buddies, 4 in the morning. What do you think,
Well, the
Brian?
intent is that these facilities use request forms are submitted in advance, so that there's plenty of time for those to
Okay,
get vetted.
They're usually a
I
few
mean,
weeks.
Every once in a
Okay.
while, we'll get, a same day, a pop-up event.
Would
but,
you like to be able to have a designee should you need one, or do you feel like it's okay the way it is?
So I thought that when we looked at that, Steve, Tom, I
Whoa.
thought that we had
You need a
that.
nappy now?
It was originally the superintendent or designee. I thought, does that show a correction on that?
It does not, it just says right now, the facilities use fees may be waived with approval by the facilities director.
It's all new language, it wasn't.
And so
Yeah.
Danny's suggesting adding slash designee, that probably wouldn't be
I
bad.
don't think that that's a bad thing.
Alright, I'm good with that if you guys are, that way if he wants to delegate to Sarah for some reason,
Or delegate you.
yeah, I mean, the one day he takes off a year, he might delegate Karen. Alright, sounds good.
What, the one day, the 1 hour?
Yeah, thanks, Milton, that's fair.
Well, I guess that becomes the question. Do we really need to delegate anything? Because I would assume that it's assumed that Karen Pike is my boss and Tom is her boss,
Yeah,
automatically gets it, they have approval authority in my absence at any time.
I may also make the point that sort of these are, if this is specifically about the facility use fee may be waived. So I would argue, like, get your poop in a group or you gotta pay the fee, man, like, you didn't get your papers in? The facilities directors didn't pay it? Or didn't sign it?
Sign it,
I
you
don't know,
gotta pay
I'm
it.
just being
Yeah.
like arbitrary.
yeah, no, I'm fine. Brian, what would you like?
Oppositional, that's the word, yeah.
I'm agnostic on it, quite
All right,
frankly.
we'll put designee in there in case Brian, for some unforeseen reason, in 15 years when we're all not here, except Danny will still be here,
Oh, yeah.
and Melvin,
Yeah.
no, but that way in the you know, because we're writing policies for the future,
Yeah.
so you never know. All right, sounds good, I added that. Any other thoughts on page 2? All right, let's go to page 3. Oh, number 5, we added including THC drinks. Just to be super clear, right? I thought that was smart. I think that might have been Brian.
I think it was some other way.
Oh, was it? It's a good idea.
Are we switching from lettering to numbering?
Yeah, we did kind of do some random. We got bored with the alphabet, we
Tickling.
moved on the numbers.
Oh, now we're numbering, yeah, the old policy was numbered, do you want me to letter it?
I don't know, what have we been doing, numbering or lettering? I feel like we've been,
Consistency is,
Yeah, it's important, I agree, let me look, I'll look at, let me see.
compulsory attendance is lettering and numbering, so.
Yeah, I've seen both in some things, but,
It's usually when you are setting up tiers of points, you letter and then you number a sub
Right.
list, but,
what do you think we should do here, Ben? You're,
well, these aren't
These
aren't sub lists, but,
Well, they should all be
so,
either letters or,
I got no passion on this one, so I'm happy to do it either way.
I mean, we're talking about lists, I feel like you traditionally number lists unless you're doing an outline, that's fine. Unless you're that kid from Home Alone.
I think I would just look back at our other policies.
I
Compulsory
am.
school attendance is lettering first and then sub is numbering, so if that's what we typically do.
Yeah. So for that, I would put letters, correct? Because it's not sub.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Got it. Oops. Goodness, this is so much easier when I'm not trying to do 7 policies in one night, because I can actually, you know.
it was a hefty agenda then.
It was, but there's so much to do. All right, good, they're lettered now. A through F.
Great.
I'll do the same with conditions of use on the next page.
I guess on page 3, you put in THC drinks as a helpful aside, but since marijuana in general is state legal, if not federally legal, do we need to just say including marijuana consumption in all forms?
We
To
could,
clarify that.
yep.
I would encourage.
Yep, it does say alcohol or illegal drugs, including,
Could we just say alcohol, THC products or illegal drugs?
sure.
Or cannabis, I don't know.
I said, I'm happy to do whatever y'all feel will be clearest. Linda, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. Possession or consumption of alcohol, THC products, comma, or illegal drugs on school property is prohibited.
Yeah.
I might,
Cannabis can be one word, which is nice.
yeah,
Alcohol, cannabis.
I'm wondering if. So the med card people are coming to mind.
Yeah.
And
18-year-olds.
yeah, or younger, if you go to the right place and have enough money. And I'm wondering if we need to specify out sort of regardless of med card status, because, I don't know, I'm just like, worst case scenarioing here.
That sentence is actually targeted as, that are adult groups that use, like, for instance, the adult
Softball,
volleyball league.
or softball players.
Softball league.
Yeah.
But those people would still have med cards.
Okay,
I'm just saying, like, how specific do we wanna get, you know? if the-
Recreational cannabis use?
Who's
No,
gonna
they
be
can't
checking?
have, they can't have it whether they have med card or not, right, on our school grounds.
Right, and I
Or
feel
can they,
like,
Linda?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
They
Karen?
can't have it on school grounds even
No.
if it's medical, right?
kids, students, I can see, but if, you know,
Oh, I don't know, I
Yeah,
don't know the
that's
law, I
fine.
Because
guess.
aren't we allowed to say on our, there's no smoking whatsoever,
that's correct.
so how are we
Drinks,
going, yeah,
Drinks,
oh,
gummies.
drinks,
and gummies.
Oh, that's something.
But alcohol also, I'm sorry, I'm
Gummies.
not on this policy, on this committee, but alcohol, I mean, every adult is technically
that's,
a legal
okay, that's
alcohol
fair, alright,
consumer.
okay, I was just trying to, make sure that we thought about it. and
Yeah.
made it.
Well, I made it really long now, let me read it back to you just to see if it's, I'm just taking notes as we go, I'm sorry.
Maybe it's getting too far into the weeds,
I don't,
Could be into the
I-
weeds.
it's a great
Oh, come on.
conversation, that's
Into
all,
the weeds.
yep.
Did
So-
you say into the weeds?
Thanks for picking up on that, Randy.
Melvin caught it, I don't know, he's the farmer.
Oh, Melvin,
He's the
you are
farmer
sharp
here.
as a tack these
He's on
days.
fire tonight. Alright, possession or consumption of alcohol,
Sugar, just
comma,
right
Just
now.
right.
possession or consumption of alcohol, comma, cannabis, comma, THC products, comma, or illegal drugs on school property is prohibited.
I think that covers it, yeah.
I don't know how you could go wrong
The
with that.
cannabis and,
Why not?
yeah, do it all, yeah.
Alright, I got you. It's in there. Linda, I think you're fully backed up on that one.
I think I am too.
Alright.
Are we still on page 3 or have we moved?
I think we're on page 3 still for now, I was just giving you all a minute to process.
Can I ask something also as a person who's not on this committee?
Sure.
One thing that stuck out to me as I'm reading is B of that page, it says, in the opinion, it says no school facility will be made available for any activities that are in the opinion of the superintendent, contrary to the best interest of RSU 40, and it just feels like,
Whoa, where were you?
which
Oh,
page
we're
two?
gone back.
She went back to
Or
page
am I-
2.
Sorry, page 2B, and I don't know if there's, I'm not also seeing any like non-discrimination language in here to say like, if a community club maybe wants to meet at a school and maybe the superintendent is the one making the choice and thinks like, I don't, maybe like, it's still like legal and all these things, but maybe like doesn't agree with what that club is talking about or whatever, it just seems like maybe there could be potential for including some non-discrimination language in this policy, so,
Well,
just a thought.
does C cover that though? I was curious, and there's,
Oh, okay, yeah, I mean, I guess, but also I guess it's not necessarily in violation of law, just, I mean, I guess it is, I guess that's maybe covering that, but.
I mean, yes and no, like the superintendent, if it's, I don't know, if it's saying that the superintendent's using their judgment, then I don't think it hurts to include it.
hey, I would be happy for you to take it out that I can say no, cause then I don't have to argue with people.
It just puts a
Right,
lot
I'm
of-
good, so, but I think there are times when someone has to make the call and be called backed up by policy too, so I usually like to be able to read the policy and say the policy says no to this and not have it be on me.
Yeah, why didn't we just take out in the opinion of the superintendent, as opposed, like, we don't need to put that onus on one person,
Yeah.
but just,
Yeah.
no school facility
Sure.
will be made available for any activities that are contrary to the best interests of RSU 40 or the welfare of its employees.
I love that. But I'm also not afraid to make a decision if y'all need me to, so. I'll strike it for now, we can discuss again in a couple of weeks, think about it. I'll do a little bit of homework on that one too, just for fun, to see what other places have.
So this may be, oh man, I'm gonna step in it on this one and I'm just gonna go for it.
Are you on page 3?
I am, so it's sort of relevant to kind of the rewording of this, like whose opinion decides what happens. So there is a church-sponsored club that meets at Union Elementary School. And it has always sort of not sat super well with me. In terms of the way that, and before I go further, I would say this about any religious group, regardless of their affiliation. I personally don't feel it's an appropriate use of school property. The church is not a taxpayer. The people that attend the church may be taxpayers, but the church is an entity. And as I'm reading this, I can't find where it would be permissible that group be held on school grounds. So that's kind of why I was not gonna
Or not
bring it
permissible.
up. Or not permissible.
Like either way.
But it doesn't, it says like community organization, municipal sponsored groups, not-for-profit groups, not for, like,
Are they
there's
paying-
no specific statement about religious groups.
Are they paying to use the facility?
That I do not know. And there have also been, again, like this, I feel like I'm going out of the,
That might be one that you email me,
okay,
and then I get guidance on it.
okay.
'Cause I
I
need
did bring
to
it
know
up
more.
last year as well and there was really no kind of resolution or no like,
Yeah, I'm happy to help, I
Yeah.
just don't know.
it just, I have some concerns.
Yeah, and I had one come up when I was in New Hampshire that I had to really do some homework on. So I think this might be best if
Sure.
you
Yeah,
email me
happy to
the
do that.
concern and then we follow that process.
Sure.
But I certainly will keep it in mind as we go through this.
As we go through,
Yeah, because
Right.
that's the gist of community buildings being used by the community.
Well,
and-
that's kind of the point I'm trying to make too, is like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna let this church group, are we gonna let the like satanic cult of whoever come in, or the like.
So I will tell
local
you
whatever,
this.
Like,
Yeah, it's a great question, and I'll double check this for Maine.
Yeah.
But when I worked in New Hampshire, I had to look that up. And the answer is you don't have to allow hate speech groups.
I feel like that definition has changed substantially over time, but,
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Just remember your viewpoint.
well,
Viewpoint discrimination, that's
Yeah.
what's gonna come up in this here. We'll let the Democratic Party hold one of their fundraisers? Well, that's not a community organization. Let's just,
Yeah.
one building, one thing, doesn't shut the whole district off.
I think we had
It's a
some,
viewpoint thing.
yeah,
Clearly, you said it doesn't feel comfortable for you. It's your viewpoint, that doesn't mean it's wrong.
but religious organizations are not listed here, and that is a religious organization.
Well, then we shouldn't list them.
I think we
Because
have,
we can still let them use the building, because it's a community thing.
But they're not listed.
But
I
that's,
think
that
Tom will look,
type of
Tom will look
organization.
this up, and I think that's your viewpoint, and your viewpoint doesn't run the whole, well, it does matter, but it doesn't run.
Thanks for saying
It
what you
doesn't
would,
run the whole
Melvin.
board.
Huh?
Remember,
Your viewpoint
your
don't matter.
point doesn't run, okay, Tom, we should probably look that up and see if there's some way, because I'm thinking there's a lot of the Supreme Court stuff on this.
there have been lawsuits.
Yeah, there
We do
have
have, we do have some people who wanna add their thoughts from the audience.
So,
You go first, you go first.
I just wanted to say that it is not just Union Elementary School.
Okay, that's helpful information.
Yeah,
It, in years past, has been
Yep,
held at
we've had
another
it at
elementary
Miller.
school, and it is also currently, the same club is at Prescott.
Same organization?
The same exact club that meets at Union Elementary School. I don't know, I'm assuming different day, because I don't have it right on the top of my head, but also meets at Prescott.
and ours was a couple of years ago, we did talk to the attorneys about, guidance on it, we cannot just, disallow religious groups without, you can't do one, allow some and not others, unless they meet they're against school policies, or they're illegal, or things like that.
So that's, I guess, the question is, never mind.
It
I'm gonna
is, so
stop.
that's why you have to be careful
Right.
who
Right.
can use the school. But once you say this particular group can't, just because you don't like them,
But this, again, I wanna be real clear, this has nothing to do with, I would have issue with any religious organization
right,
doing in
but
school,
you
no
can't
matter what.
just say like, well, no religious organizations can.
I get that, and I'm real curious to hear what sort of the law says about it.
Yeah,
And in terms
yeah.
of like, because in my reading, as we're going through this policy, they don't fit the criteria.
It's come up before about ideological organizations versus religious organizations. I think we discussed this last year. Are they one and the same, or they're separate? They're separate. If they're separate, then we might want to add, if we're going to prohibit religious organizations, which we can't according to the law, then we ought to consider any other kind of, it's just irrelevant. This is just,
So the,
we're going,
So Randy, it might be
we're
irrelevant
spending a
for
lot
you.
of time.
guys,
But
We're
it's not
spending time
relevant
on
for me.
something that
this,
doesn't
we're
need to
not
be
gonna,
going
we're not
over.
gonna do back and forth, we've got another comment from the seats.
Just one thing, I think that the law, when you look at it objectively, comes down to intent. What is the intent of the organization versus,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
Is the intent against the policy, or is the intent congruent with the community? And I think that the law differentiates between that. The intent would be to build the community versus anti-policy. So when you look at a religious group, is the intent of that group malicious, or is the intent of that group congruent with what the community is offering and looking for? Intent has a lot to do with law.
Yes, sir.
I do wanna get through the finances part of this policy, I'm just saying,
Great.
like,
Let's-
I don't mean to be like, but I do wanna say one thing, that there is a defined hate speech, list or place that you find places that are considered to be supporting hate speech, and that does play into some of these things, but I am not comfortable commenting in Maine. I did significant research in New Hampshire about this, but I don't feel comfortable telling you
Sure.
right
No,
now.
I don't need
I'd
an
like to
answer
do
right
some
now.
homework, so
Yeah.
I give you the right answer.
Yep.
It's important to me from an integrity perspective that I'm very careful, right? And I'm not saying that you're right or wrong, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, I really want to look this up and do some homework, and I just need some time to do that. It's a great question.
Yeah.
But do me a favor and send me the question in an email with the specific people, the concern, so I can
Sure.
know more. I've gotta look up facilities use forms, who paid for what.
Yeah.
I need more information to do good research and give you a good answer.
Okay, happy to do that, thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe Rachel, as you formulate that question, consider the non-discrimination part of it.
Yeah.
And who's able to participate in that group and if it serves the entire school community.
There's the route right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. Yep, okay. Thank you. I don't mean to be like, it's 6:20 and I want to make sure that we complete this. The money part's a real question. And that's coming right up here, around the bend. So,
I'm happy to move on to page 4 if everyone else is.
thank you, Beth.
Happy to, thank you, sorry to derail.
No, it's fine. It's a great question. I just don't know the answer. So page 4 has the basic user fees, and if you go to page 5, you're really gonna dig into it. So if you have questions about 4, you might wanna read 4 and 5, and then we'll talk. Does that make sense? Because they're kinda linked.
Leah?
My input is that if this fee schedule was developed by the people who understand how the facilities are used and what it costs to offer up these facilities, like, I don't know if $50 an hour is enough to cover a custodian. But if the people who've developed this know that that is enough to cover it, then I fully have faith that that's fine. And I also feel like bringing community groups into the schools is such a great way to also bring what the schools do into the community. And so in whatever way we can encourage people to use the facilities, and bring that attention to our schools and what our schools need and what they're doing well and all of that, then great. So that would be my feedback, is that if the people who know how much these things cost
Thank you.
have come up with them, then great.
And Brian and Karen and I spent a long time going over this with a fine tooth comb. I would agree that that would be my opinion, but it's your building. So I just wanna make sure that you're all okay with it. The other thing is, if you notice at the top of page 5, it says congruent with facilities use form and policy KF-E. We will create that form for you and bring it to you for approval. We just wanted to get the approval of the policy by the board first, because the form is driven by the policy. So we'll draft that up and we can do them all at once. I just wanted to get through this first meeting with you. Oh, Leah's,
Yeah, Leah?
In the policy violations, it says in consultation with the facilities director, would it be the building admin rather than the school principal? Does that matter? Building administrator? Do we usually use that language, or maybe we use
Yeah, I
both?
think we usually do.
I'm sorry, do you want it to say school administrator instead of school principal?
Building administrator.
Sure. I'm fine with that if everyone else is.
Yeah,
Cause it might be, at Miller, it might be Jamie if Julia's not available, right? Or Matt or Maida,
And
or
then,
Matt Lash.
I guess maybe this is a good question for Danny, but the final sentence that says the decision of the superintendent is final. Do we typically offer people the ability to come to the board if they're not satisfied with the superintendent's decision, or is that just different from thing to thing?
I would think the, thing could be, I mean, if the board is, happy leaving it like that, that's fine. But I think any decision could be appealed.
That's my thinking, is like legally, is there a reason that we say that it can be appealed? Are we denying somebody that?
There are some
I don't.
There are some policies in all districts that the superintendent's decision is final. This would typically be one of them.
Okay.
I'm fine if you wanna make it that, but if it's appealed to the board, you may get quite a few appeals and spend a lot of time dealing with facilities.
I'm not
wouldn't.
saying I want it to be appealed to the board,
Yeah.
I'm just asking if it's like a legal protection.
I think because it's operations, it's not at the level of things, like we deal with curriculum, we deal with admin level stuff, but this is more ops, and I think it's resolved at a lower level than we usually.
Right, there's a reason why
Buildings.
an expulsion or a suspension, there are things that can come to the board by law. This would not be one of them, this is an operational practice. But, guys, I'm fine either way, it won't be me, so you gotta think about this carefully though, cause you don't wanna have a bunch of these coming to you either. I haven't had to do this yet, but I wouldn't recommend it personally. I think it's totally fine for the superintendent to say, yeah, you rented the gym for volleyball and you left a bunch of garbage all over the place, it was a mess and you're not coming back and that's the end of it. Right, it's just,
It'd be a lot harder to go back afterward and say, actually, we don't wanna get all these appeals, no more, then people really can
Yes.
yeah.
kick, so.
Typically, if they can appeal the policy, if the policy is precluding them from using the space, that would be your level of intervention.
Right.
But as long as the policy is being applied according to the policy, then. can't really-
Makes sense.
That's a good point. You guys wanna move to page 6? This was a big one. We had a lot of conversation about the kitchen facilities, but it's the last part. So this was literal. I think we had Stormy come in and meet with us and talk, try to engage all of our folks in the team.
Is this an and situation where we're saying you have to do all 5 of those things? And if so, should we add an and?
Brian, do you wanna take a look at it?
I can,
I can come to you. I'm
It
good.
seems like you have to do all of those things.
I would interpret it that you have to.
I think so too, but I just wanted Brian to read it just to be sure. Oh, okay.
I just wanna leave.
It's just, are you saying they have to do all 5 of these things?
Yes, all of those, all have to be achieved. in
So
order
what I'll
to
say
use
is must do all of the following.
Yeah.
Use a fancy word and say it's contingent.
Ooh.
All right, Ben, I went fancy pants for you. Use of the kitchen facilities in any school is contingent upon the following.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Is that good, Ben?
In number 1, do we wanna use the Oxford comma and delete that first and? Principal, comma, the first
Yeah.
food service director,
Sure.
comma, and the,
Yeah, definitely doesn't need a.
Yeah, that's what I would normally do. Thank you.
I'll say be the song.
Mrs. Ambrose would agree with you about the Oxford comma.
There you go.
Yeah, I get in trouble for that one at home all the
Yeah, you
time.
could.
And then the formatting of number 2, kitchen use must comply with all state and federal regulations, comma, including but not limited to, colon, a person certified, blah, 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 blah.
Agreed.
You need parentheses around that?
No,
Yeah,
delete the
Yeah, it
parentheses.
Yeah,
Comma,
Yeah.
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 thank you. Got it. In the future, I'm just going to send these to Leo a week in advance and have an editing hang.
That'd be great.
Just clean up, it's fine, I love that. It's a good idea. We stare at this for an hour and then we just get like a little
Totally.
bleary-eyed, you
Not
know?
see it.
Yeah.
I assume there's no concerns with the substance of this section.
No, actually, this was a big conversation with Stormy, the head of food services, Brian, Karen, and myself, probably 15 minutes or so, but we called her down and asked her to give us input before we developed this for you.
And I agree with it.
Thank you. All right, so I will go and do my homework and bring it back to you at the beginning of March.
So since this was an action item, I think we do need a motion to table.
You do. Yep, thank you, Ben.
Would we table to next policy meeting?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of tabling policy KF to our next
Can I
meeting?
add one thing, Tom? Sorry.
Oh my goodness,
We're
Leah,
gonna
I wanna
come
eat my
back to
sandwich
it.
before the board
I'm
meeting.
sorry,
This is not my fault, this is Rachel's.
No, I'm just kidding, it's fine. Yeah,
She
if
wanted
you-
to keep the, put
No
the
heckling.
in the violations. You could have just raised your hand.
Can I raise my hand?
Rachel, yes.
Again, as a member of this committee, I apologize, but I would, think that policy violations should go absolutely last after kitchen use, because kitchen use is also.
Oh, that's a great idea, so just pull it down to the end?
Yeah, policy violation should be the last.
Oh, that's great, yep, got it.
Anything else before we proceed?
I messed up the formatting for kitchen use, now it's split across pages.
Sorry.
I don't know if I can do that, my OCD's kicking in, sorry, Ben.
There are no other comments or suggestions, so I guess we can proceed with our vote, because we didn't have a motion and a second. All in favor of tabling KF to our next committee meeting? All opposed? There are none. All abstentions? There are none.
Let's talk about page 7. No, I'm sorry. That's the best page.
All right, I am not aware of any other items, we don't have any on the agenda. It is 6:30 and we are adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. That's good.
Nice job, Ben.
Thanks.